Hello everyone, Bilbo here, and I am back with another DVD Blu-ray video. So this is my first update. A couple weeks back, well actually over the course of 2 weeks, I did what I had up to that point, but I've actually added quite a bit to it since then, and I also have some comments on some other ones that I've watched since I did that video, so I want to tell you a little bit about what I thought of not only the films themselves, but the qualities and all that. But yeah, I found some really good deals on eBay. eBay is amazing. I didn't realize Amazon is great. If you want something quickly, that's definitely the best way to go. But if you're willing to wait a week or so, and you know, a lot of times you might get something used very good or something. If you don't mind those two things, then eBay is definitely a better route to go because you will find some very good deals on eBay. I do have some more coming right now in the mail. But I'll save those for my next update video. I'll probably do that in 3 or 4 weeks or so. So I'll keep those a surprise. But anyway, let's go ahead and start. I'll go ahead and start with the ones that I wanted to tell you about instead of the new ones that I've got. So the first one I wanted to mention was To Kill a Mockingbird. I'm actually in the middle of watching this right now. It's a very good film, obviously. It's on pretty much any best movies of all time list, and also it's one of the greatest books of all time, of course. It is a very good film, but the main thing I want to comment on is the quality of it. Other than the black and white factor, it almost looks like it was made yesterday, and that's because it's one of these older movies that they've taken the time to digitally remaster and fully restore from high resolution to 35mm original film elements. Those are always the best when they go back to those old movies and do it that way. They look absolutely amazing. I know Jaws is another one they did like that. And they've done that for a lot of the older movies, so you'll probably pay a little more for them, but they do look really good. So for a great film like this one, or Jaws, I know there's plenty of others that they've done that way, it is definitely worth it. And this also came with digital HD. I'm not really into that. I prefer sitting in my own home and watching it on my big flat screen TV instead of, watching it on my phone or on my computer or whatever. But I know a lot of people really like that, and some people only like it that way. And I respect that, but I prefer my discs. For everything, I like physical copies better than digital things. Books, movies, music, pretty much. Well, Spotify I really like. That's better because instead of buying a whole album, you can get just the songs that you really like. So Spotify, I will consent. I do like that better. Digitally streaming music, but it does have its downsides. If your internet's down, you're kind of out of luck unless you download the playlist. But movies and books, I definitely like physical better. Music is the only one I would say no to, and even in that case, if I really like the artist or there's an album that I think, oh, that's absolutely amazing, like every song is really good, then I still like to get those. Anyway, moving on. Oh, another thing, I do have a special surprise I want to show you, but I'll save that for the end. Let's see, new. Oh, here's another one. Patton. I just watched this a few nights ago. This film is really good. I had no idea. George C. Scott is amazing as George Patton. The actor and the character have the same name. This film was the winner of 7 Academy Awards, including the Best Picture of 1970, and this is a really good movie. Love him or hate him, you gotta watch this movie. George Patton is an extremely interesting man. This movie is really funny too. I had no idea. He was a funny guy to begin with. They added some humor into this movie. It is really good, so I would highly recommend checking this film out. It's a great war film, but it's not just like battle after battle. There's lots of great character moments and funny quips and stuff, so I would highly recommend it. It has quite a bit of mild language in it, nothing really bad though. They really had to tone down Patton's actual language, especially the opening scene, which, as a matter of fact, Francis Ford Coppola, the director of the Godfather films, he wrote the screenplay for this, and they actually fired him because he tried something different. The opening scene of Patton where he walks up on the stage in front of that enormous American flag and delivers that really cool speech, he got fired for that scene, and it turned out to go down in history as one of the best scenes or opening scenes of a movie of all time. And later on down the road, when this film was made and it was nominated for all the Oscars, he won an Oscar for the screenplay even though he was fired for it. So pretty cool story right there. Francis Ford Coppola, obviously an amazing guy, made some of the best films of all time. And at least in part, this is one of them. Definitely check this film out. Let me see what else I got here. Another new one. New. Oh, here we go. Gods and Generals. Our friend TheSecond I think this actually may be his favorite movie of all time. I know it's up there with like Lord of the Rings and Inception and all that. And I have to say, it's probably one of my favorites now too. It's definitely not for everybody. It's filled with biblical references, and it focuses way more on the South than it does on the North. There is a prominent Northern character. Jeff Daniels plays, I believe his name is Chamberlain. He's in there quite a bit, but not nearly as much as Stonewall Jackson, played by Stephen Lang. I believe he was the bad guy in Avatar. Not The Last Airbender. Avatar's and the blue aliens and stuff. I know he's in there. I think he was the bad guy. Oh my gosh, he should have been nominated for an Oscar. He did an amazing job as Stonewall Jackson. Robert Duvall as Robert E. Lee, that was another excellent casting choice. I would have liked to have seen more of him. Even though this film is already pushing 5 hours, it's about 4 hours and 40 minutes. It's exactly 280 minutes. It does have an intermission, and it is divided into 5 parts. Depending on who you talk to, some people say, oh, watch it all the way through. So set a whole day aside, pretty much. But if you ask me and other people, I would say divide it into 5 parts. It is divided into 5 parts. It literally will come up on the screen and say, Part 1, Manassas. Part 2, Antietam, or whatever. And each part is about an hour, give or take. So I would recommend doing it that way. I think it would have worked better as a miniseries, because this film actually has awful reviews, but I do not agree with them at all. This has 8% on Rotten Tomatoes. I would give it somewhere in the 80s, 90s, something like that. I would probably give it a 95 myself, or a 90 at least. Anyway, amazing film. I have not watched Gettysburg yet. It's the sequel to this film. It's supposed to be better. Not according to TheSecond. He likes this one better, so I will judge for myself once I have seen it, and I'll tell you in the next video probably. By the way, this one is rated PG-13 for sustained battle sequences and some disturbing images. The violence really not that bad in this film. There are definitely more violent films. But yes, I would highly recommend checking this out. Get the extended director's cut. It adds almost an hour, including an added subplot with John Wilkes Booth and the entire sequence with Antietam and some of the little things here and there. So I can't speak for the non-extended cut. Maybe it's really bad, I don't know. But the extended director's cut, very good. Definitely check this out. Another one I would like to comment on is Ben-Hur in Blu-ray Technicolor. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. The film itself is absolutely amazing, of course. But if you get this on Blu-ray, when you combine Blu-ray with a film that was filmed in Technicolor, which is generally considered to be the best way to film a movie, highly expensive, but the best way, and they can't actually do that anymore because it is so expensive. But for those films that were filmed in Technicolor, when they get put in the Blu-ray, they look really, really good, and this is definitely one of them. Ten Commandments, too. I watched both of them. The Ten Commandments is a good movie, too. It is a little cheesy in parts, especially some of the blue screen stuff, but Ben-Hur and the Ten Commandments, too, amazing. Absolutely amazing. So check these out for sure. Both of those are very long movies as well. I think they're each over 3 hours, pushing 4. So these are great to check out during Easter time, but even if it's not, definitely watch these. I believe I have only one more that is not new to tell you about, and that is, I wanted to comment a little bit on the Alien Anthology. Alien, the first one, obviously one of the best films of all time. It is on a bunch of those lists. Aliens, check out the extended cut. Aliens is definitely my favorite of the 4 films, and the extended cut made it a lot better. There's a lot of really cool stuff added, especially towards the beginning. So it's definitely the better version, and it may be the only one of these 4 films where the longer or newer version, the director's cut version, is better. That's very debatable. The first one I would say definitely not, because they actually cut out things and only added 1 new scene, so it's kind of weird. And then the other 2 films, well, they're not really that great to begin with. I will tell you about those now. Alien 3, it's kind of boring, to be honest. It feels more like the first film in that there's only 1 alien, and it's just kind of boring, to be honest. I didn't really like it. And as for Alien Resurrection, it's so dumb. Don't bother, please. That was awful. I actually just got a Rotten Tomatoes account, and I made sure to write a really bad review for that film, because it was not good. Much darker, much heavier, more grotesque, wait, if you thought the profanity was bad in the first three, it gets even worse. The violence does, and it's just dumb. The only thing I can say about that one is the special effects are kind of cool, but they're still not as cool as the ones in Aliens, because that was Stan Winston. I don't think Stan Winston worked on any of the other ones. So Aliens is definitely the best, but stick with the first two on the Alien Anthology. I'm still glad I have this really nice collector's edition with all 4 films and lots of the special features. But I probably won't be watching those again anytime soon. But the first two I definitely will be. Anyway, moving on, I'm going to show you some of the newer ones I have and the special surprise. The first film I have here is E.T. the Extraterrestrial. I have not seen this film in years. I'm going to be watching it soon. I remember it's one of... A lot of people think this is Steven Spielberg's best film. Going off what I remember, I would not agree with that at all. Jurassic Park is probably my favorite, but I mean, he's got Jaws, he's got Schindler's List, which is way different, in a much more moving way. And even of his other sci-fi films, I think he has better. But E.T., from what I remember, is still a really good movie. A lot of people think it is his best. And this is a Blu-ray DVD combo pack. It is supposed to have ultraviolet in there, but I got it on eBay and I had taken it out, which, you know, I paid a little less, and I was fine with that because I really don't care about ultraviolet and digital HD. So I'll let you know what I think of that after I watch it again. Same with this one, another Steven Spielberg alien movie, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. This is another one that's considered one of the best films of all time. I saw it like 5 years ago or so. So once again, I don't remember it that well. I obviously remember the final scene, which I won't spoil in case you have not seen it. But I'm pretty sure I can definitely recommend this one because I remember it being very good. And it has 3 different versions, which I'm confused. Which one should I watch? The original theatrical version is 135 minutes. The special edition is 132 minutes, 3 minutes shorter. And the director's cut is 137 minutes, which is 2 minutes longer than the original version. So I'm like, what? 2 minutes? What? I'm a little confused. Did they cut things out and add new things? I don't know. If you know which is the best version to watch, please let me know. Because as of now, I don't know which version I'm going to watch when I get around to it. Anyway, what else have we got here? Oh, The Disappointment, Braveheart. Now, I'm not saying the movie is a disappointment. This is one of the greatest movies of all time. But I did get it used, and unlike some of these others where it's like, wow, it's in really good condition, I would have never known that that was used. This one is definitely used. The bottom seal thing will not close, and as you can see, it's a little beat up, and the cover is very warped for some reason. So I'm a little worried as to how the disc qualities are, so I was kind of disappointed about that. But as a film, I mean, come on, we all love Braveheart, don't we? I'm looking forward to watching this again. Just hope that I will be able to watch it because of the state of the box and stuff. Winner of 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. It is rated R for brutal medieval warfare. I thought there was a little more than that. I know there's at least some language. And I thought there was more, but maybe I'm wrong. And there's quite a few special features on there, some of them in HD as well. So, I'm looking forward to checking that out again. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I actually sold my copy of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. I don't like Indiana Jones anymore. He's such a dumb guy. I mean, who likes Indiana Jones? I'm kidding. I sold that so I could get this. One of my nicer collections now, I would say. The Indiana Jones Complete Adventures. Until we get Indiana Jones 5, where Harrison Ford's going to be like 101 or so. Anyway, this is a really nice collector's edition. As you can see, it slides out here. Lots of artwork for all 4 films. And if we fold it out, there's Last Crusade. Inside we have 5 discs with pictures from the movie and from behind the scenes. Behind the disc, I'm not going to show you all that. Because I haven't even looked at it myself. At least not all of it. Yeah, you get 5 discs in there, 1 for each movie, including Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and a bonus disc. So overall, a very nice collection. I was disappointed with myself that I didn't have at least the first 3 Indiana Jones films until now. So I was glad I got it. I got it for like 27 bucks on eBay. I went to Barnes & Noble the other day looking for some good deals, and they were selling this for about $80. I got it for $27 on eBay. So don't be fooled by Barnes & Noble. They do have some good sales every now and then. If you got the membership and stuff and they're having a sale, every once in a while you can get a better deal than you would find online, but very, very rarely. So overall, I was very satisfied with this. It's in excellent condition. In fact, it is brand new for $27. And I believe this is region-free Blu-ray, which is the best. Because that way, if I ever decide to move to the other side of the world, in Asia or Africa or something, this would still work on their Blu-ray players, which makes me happy. Moving on, got another Ridley Scott film, Kingdom of Heaven Director's Cut. This is one of my dad's favorite movies. I have not seen it, at least not for a while. I think I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I don't think in fact, I know he's never even seen the director's cut, so I'm looking forward to watching that with him. This one is rated R for strong violence and epic warfare at a minimum. It's got a great cast though. It doesn't have the greatest reviews, but everybody says the director's cut makes it better and fills in some gaps and stuff. It's got a great cast though. Orlando Bloom, Legolas, and Will Turner is the lead character, and he's supported by such actors as Liam Neeson, Jeremy Irons. Those are the two that I recognize. Of course, Liam Neeson, one of the greatest actors ever. And yeah, this is Ridley Scott. He did Alien, The Martian, Prometheus, but we won't mention that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to checking this out. This one is over 3 hours long. 1080p HD resolution, lossless audio, and smart menu technology. This film is about the Crusades. We all know it didn't go so well. Love them or hate them. In any case, it's a very interesting time in history, so definitely check that out. Another one I have, I'm getting a lot of rated R movies. Don't judge character. But The Patriots extended cut. Once again, I know I've not seen the extended cut. This is another one of my dad's favorite movies. So he's actually lucking out because I'm buying these with my own money, and he gets to watch them. So he's getting a good deal. So yeah, I've not seen the extended cut. I think it's like 10 or 15 minutes longer. This is a great 4th of July movie. It's about the Revolutionary War, and this guy, I believe at least part of his family is killed, and then he just like goes on a rampage and wants to get the British and stuff. So I'm trying to get like little bits and pieces of lots of different areas of history in these films, because sci-fi is probably my favorite film category, and then it's definitely portrayals of history, or at least historical fiction and stuff like that. I don't know if this is based on a true story or not. Yeah, I really can't say either way on that. But in any case, it's a very interesting film, so check that one out. This one is the extended cut is unrated. I know the regular version is R. I think it's just unrated though, because a lot of these extended versions they don't rate, and I don't think they cut it for violence, at least not for the most part. I think it's just like character stuff. But I have not seen it, so I don't really know. And I don't really remember the theatrical version very much either. So I can't really say. But I do know it's a great film, so definitely check it out. Oh my gosh, I gotta talk about this one. Super 8. I found out about this one through the Cloverfield movies. I really got into those with the new one coming out and stuff. And this is on Rotten Tomatoes as people who like this movie like this one as well. So this is from J.J. Abrams and Steven Spielberg. That's going to be awesome. And it was. This has great reviews, but I really hadn't heard of it until now. And it reminds me so much of me and my friends in the BB09 files, because it's about this group of kids. They're younger than us by about, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. But it still reminds me so much of them. One of the characters looks just like Agent Piotr. But it's about this group of kids who are filming a movie on a Super 8 camera, and they capture this, I won't spoil it, but there's like this huge event that they accidentally capture on camera, and things start getting weird and stuff. It is sci-fi, but it's more than sci-fi. In fact, sci-fi almost takes the back burner in this film, and the characters are put first. And I like it. I love sci-fi, but I thought it was good what they did. It's an amazing movie. I definitely like it better than the first Cloverfield movie. With 10 Cloverfield Lane, though, they're like neck and neck. I love them both. This one might win, though, because I have a feeling as the older I get, the more this movie is going to mean to me. Looking back on doing the BB09 files and stuff. And this is a Blu-ray DVD digital copy combo pack. Once again, I took the digital copy out. But I have watched this one all the way through, and the disc is fine and stuff, so I'm happy about that. Yeah, people said it's the year's most thrilling movie, an instant classic. It's about 5 years old, I believe. 2011, 2012, somewhere around in there. And this one is PG-13 for intense sequences of sci-fi action and violence, quite a bit of language, and some drug use, which I really don't remember. There's some references to pot, but I don't remember anyone doing drugs. And it must be really quick, because I must have been really into it and not noticed it. Anyway, I got two more here. The Tremors Attack Pack. I had to get this. At least the first one. Tremors is a classic. It's such a great movie, horror comedy. These are all rated PG-13, language, violence, gore. I don't remember the last three that well, but I just rewatched Tremors. I'm going to rewatch some of the others. But yeah, the Tremors is such a good movie. Come on, giant worms coming out of the ground and eating people. What's the better idea than that? And the practical effects are really good. Practical effects, I always like them better than CGI. I really do. It always looks more real. Of course, the actors can act better when they have something real there. And this has all four films. There is a fifth one that just came out like a few months ago. But obviously after the first one, they steadily go downhill. There are some fun twists that they put on the Tremors stories in some of the sequels, I remember. But the first one is the best. It's the only one that Kevin Bacon is in. He's pretty funny. The whole movie is really funny. It's not like, oh, what are we going to do about the giant worms? This is so serious. They act like that, but we're laughing because it's funny. And Michael Gross, I believe is his name. His character is so good. He's just like this, oh, I'm going to shoot up the giant worms. So good, so good. You have to check it out. The last one I bought is Unbroken. I have heard this film has mixed reviews and I have not watched it yet, so I don't know if they're justified or not. It sounds like a great story though, and for no other reason, it has my favorite Coldplay song during the credits, I believe. So I have to see it just for that at least. But I mean, the story sounds really interesting, and it's based on a true story. I know a lot of people said they didn't like it because they didn't put enough emphasis on the spirituality portion of it. So I don't really know. I'll know more once I see it. So I'll let you know, hopefully in the next video I do, what I thought. Now, the special surprise I want to tell you about really quick is I actually borrowed this from my grandfather, and he brought it over in a Ziploc bag. I'm not going to comment on that. I never put any of my DVDs in plastic bags, but this is a nice collector's edition, so I don't know, maybe some of you film collectors out there would like to put your nice editions in plastic bags. I don't, but he did ask me to be very careful with it, so I will be, but I am going to get it out. He knew I was going to get it out anyway, because I told him I was going to watch it, so. And if he's watching right now, hopefully I'm being careful enough for you. This is Citizen Kane. It is often considered the best film of all time. I don't think so. It is a very good film. I just rewatched it. I remember thinking it was kind of boring, but I rewatched it now, and I thought it was very good. I don't think it's the best film of all time, though, not by a long shot. On the AFI, American Film Institute list, it is #1. On IMDb, it's in the 60s, though. So I'd say it's more justified around there somewhere. There are definitely films I think are way better. My personal favorite film is Fellowship of the Ring, Lord of the Rings. If I were to pick a best movie for everybody, like you should think this is one of the best films of all time. I'd say It's a Wonderful Life. I think that's a film that can relate, that just about anybody can relate to. Such a feel-good movie at the end, great Christmas story. So that's what I would say for the best film of all time. Unless someone said to me, Bilbo, you get to decide what the best movies of all time are, then I'd have a little lower, but still pretty high. Anyway, I wanted to show you this since I have it in my custody. I'm not going to steal it. Before I do, I should mention some of the other ones I borrowed. I watched Casablanca for the first time a couple weeks ago. That's a very good movie. It has some very good moments, amazing quotes. The whole movie pretty much is quotable. Rating that with some of the other great movies that are always towards the top, like The Godfather, Citizen Kane, Gone with the Wind. I would still say The Godfather is my favorite of all of those. Then Casablanca, then Citizen Kane, Gone with the Wind. I put it way at the bottom. That's not one of my favorites. Anyway, let me show you this. It actually contains 3 movies. It has Citizen Kane, and it also has 2 movies that are related to it. award-winning documentary about the making of the film and the impact it's had on society. And also another one called RKO281, which I believe is about the true story behind making Citizen Kane. That's more of like a docudrama, which I have not seen either one of those. But yeah, people were saying Citizen Kane can justifiably be called the greatest picture of all time, countless classic moments. And Orson Welles is pretty amazing. And the aging process they do on him is really cool, especially for back in the 40s. So we got some nice pictures there. And then inside of this we have the 3 discs for each of the 3 films. Citizen Kane, Battle of Citizen Kane is the documentary, and then RKO281 is more of the docudrama thing, which is pretty recent, I believe. And this is actually worth quite a bit, I believe, so I need to be very careful with it. Set it down carefully. We don't damage it. We also have a very nice little mini book in here, talking about the making of Citizen Kane. So I guess I'll show you a few pages inside of there. Some pictures from the film, and some writing about how it was made and stuff. Of course, the famous snow globe. Rosebud. So we got that in there as well. And the final thing we have is a little book thing. And inside we have a bunch of pictures and documents. There must be about 20 of them in here. I'll show you a few. Movie posters. You can get these framed and hang them up and stuff. This is actually another booklet. I don't know who's going to read this though, because the writing inside is like font size 1. So even I would be like, what does that say? I got pretty good vision. But yeah, we got a lot of the movie posters for the film in here on the left side. And then on the right side, in addition to the pamphlets, actually that's on the left side, we have some documents, I guess, about Citizen Kane, like some production sheets and stuff, budget estimate. I don't know how they got their hands on this stuff, but back in the 40s. Probably won't interest a whole lot of people. If you're a huge fan of this movie, then you definitely are going to want to get this edition. But even as a casual fan of the movie, I think this is a really nice edition. If they had something like this for some of my favorite movies, I would totally be getting them. And even as, just more of a casual fan of this movie, this is really cool. So I'm glad I was at least able to borrow it. It's really hard to find a cheap version of Citizen Kane on Blu-ray though. The cheapest I can find it is like $40, $50, $60, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to pay quite that much, especially when I can just borrow it from my grandfather. But at some point, I might get a copy myself. We'll see. So anyway, that's a special surprise. Hopefully you're into old movies, because I am. Probably my 3rd favorite category. Sci-fi, historical, classic films. So that is my update video number 1. Like I said, it's not to brag or anything. It's really just I enjoy talking about movies, and hopefully you'll see a few things in here and think, hey, that looks cool, I might check that out. That always makes me feel really good. In my first couple of videos, a couple of you said, hey, that Walking With series sounds really cool, I'm going to check that out. I got way more views than I normally do on some of my other videos, so I was really happy about that. Thanks, guys. So I'll definitely do some more of these, maybe like 1 every month or 2. Right now, I'm like in a frenzy. It's kind of an addiction, honestly. You guys need to help me. But yeah, I'm like, oh, I forgot about that movie. I really want to see that in Blu-ray again. Oh, I need to get that one. I've already got like 4 or 5 others on the way right now, which I'll save for my next one. So it is a bit of an addiction, but I'm working on it. One more thing before I end the video, I've actually moved them from where I showed you last time and alphabetized them. Of course, I'm going to have to re-alphabetize them now that I've done this, so I'll do that really quick. And I got them in a nice little area of a cabinet, so I'll show you that. Maybe give you some ideas for DVDs or books or whatever that you collect. So, I forgot to mention, this is just my Blu-rays, not the DVDs. There's a couple back there as well. Numerals at the front. So, it's a nice little shelf area I've got. So far it's just 1 row, but before too long it will definitely be 2 rows, and I might go up to the shelf above it, I don't know. And over here, one of the ones I have on the way is Force Awakens. Definitely gotta complete that collection. And by the way, check out the new Star Wars trailer for Rogue One. Looks pretty cool. So that will be the end of the video. So thanks for tuning in. Appreciate like, comment, subscription as always. And I will see you in the next update video, or whatever video you tune to next. So, goodbye.